with Dan from Adigi in Harrogate. How you doing, Dan?
Oh, good, thank you. Yeah, how are you?
Yeah, very well. Thank you very much. Thanks very much for joining us this afternoon. So
No
if
worries.
you'd like to give us a bit of background as to who you are, what the business is, and then how long you've been doing it for, please.
Yeah, so I'm the managing director of Adigi, a digital agency. So we're a branding and engagement agency, primarily designing and developing WordPress, WooCommerce, and Shopify. So obviously any websites that sort of fit into those frameworks. We set up the agency with me and my business partner sort of 12 years ago, and we've grown from myself and my business partner from 2 staff to 9 staff, and we're based here in Harrogate.
Excellent. Thank you very much. So those last few years obviously covered the pandemic relatively recently. How was that for you, and sort of what was the biggest impact you found for your agency?
So biggest traditional agencies and the agency model, I think we were behind the curve in this respect. There was a lot of sort of studio meetings and project meetings. Obviously, they can be done on Zoom, and it's the sort of project management of those projects as well. So traditionally, we always did them with a studio meeting within the building, and lots of people came into the building to have their studio meetings. The biggest thing was obviously working from home, and how we dealt with working from home as an agency, especially in that model that we've just talked about. So processes for remote working, managing projects in a more efficient way. Kind of really had to be. We started to try implement this model before COVID, but it really got accelerated during COVID. So we tried all the usual SaaS platforms like Monday.com and other things, but we've ended up building our own project management agency tool, as it were. So that's the biggest impact, because that's meant generally that we've improved processes and systems for in-house working, but external working as well.
Okay, so that would be an advantage of COVID, would you say? Kind of a good result of one of the two actions?
Yeah, really. To come out of COVID is obviously, we had to do it because of COVID, but it's been a massive positive for us as an agency to have now our own systems, our tools, and look at all those processes and systems as how we did everything and how we could improve them.
Brilliant. Thank you for that. So if we're looking ahead at the future, what that looks like for you guys, and then what are the main challenges sort of associated with that as well?
So it's to build on, obviously, as we sort of said, systems and processes is the big driver for us. It was standardizing frameworks, configuring these essentially to make us more efficient as a team. Building on that project management agency tool that I sort of touched on a minute ago, because ultimately that manages timelines for projects, staff holidays, invoicing, performance. So we ultimately sell and track time. That's how all agency models kind of work. And it's making the team more performance driven and more efficient in that process, and more profitable. So we tend to take, looking at projects, we qualify leads properly, that they're the right fit for us as an agency, but also the work is produced in a more standardized process. That means better projects for the clients, but also better, more seamless projects for us internally and externally as well.
Great stuff. Do you see any sort of ongoing challenges within that, or is it kind of going to be a seamless future?
No, I don't. I mean, obviously the problem is that you're only as good as usually your last few projects. Obviously you're always learning and you're always improving. The frameworks, I mean, obviously at the moment Shopify, WooCommerce and WordPress are very big. Will they be in next year or the year after? Don't know. That's the problem. So it's always new technology, always new things that are coming out. So making sure the agency's up to speed with those processes, and making sure that we're up to speed with all the frameworks that are available to provide our customers with for projects.
Great, thank you. And so moving on then to yourself, really, as a business owner, since you've been with the agency or started the agency, what would you say your biggest learning is?
Yeah, so I mean, I think
I
was going to say, so I think it's that I should have embraced outside help sooner. I think I was as everybody thinks they know everything, and everybody, you know, it's their business, and how could somebody possibly external help them? I think the biggest thing I've learned in the last 2 years is that that help is there. People who've walked the walk and grabbed the t-shirt usually have a better insight, and have probably had a lot of the pitfalls and challenges that you've probably encountered on the way. So I would, if I was saying biggest learning, make sure that you go and you know, look for a mentor, a coach, or certainly somebody who's been in business a period of time, and take all the advice you can and learn as much as you can.
Great share, good stuff. Obviously, we like that here at Action Coach. It's a good learning. But yeah, very, very true in that if you can save yourself a few pitfalls by asking the right advice from the right kind of people, then it can be a massive help. So in terms of, I suppose, transferring that learning, really, would that be the best piece of advice you could give to someone younger who's starting out in business, or is there perhaps an alternative bit of advice on top of that?
Yeah, and I'd always say, you know, seek that advice, but also if you're starting a new business, find something you genuinely enjoy doing. Don't just do something because you think you can make money at it, because ultimately it's not going to satisfy you as a personally and professionally. Always do something that gets you up in the morning, that you actually feel like you're going to, you know, enjoy doing, because you won't feel as like the weight on your shoulders, the pressure of doing it. And if you enjoy doing it, you'll continue to do it. And just map out consistency. Be consistent in your approach.
Sure. Sounds like a good bit of advice. You definitely need to have a reason to get out of bed in the morning, and doing something you enjoy is massively helpful with that. Thank you for that. It's a good share. And then, what is inspiring you currently, or to do what you do? Is there anything that you're reading, anything that you might listen to?
Yeah, so Atomic Habits. I don't know if you've the consistency of
James Clear,
marginal improvements, marginal gains, good leadership. Good is you know, is something that really does. I listen to a lot of podcasts. I've listened to audio books. Usually successful people or businesses, but always good leaders is what I always come back to. That can be all walks of life. That can be from sporting people to right through to, you know, the Queen, who's just passed away. What a great leader. So it's, you know, and then I love, and then often you find with these leaders, they have great systems and processes, and that's how they can be effective in their businesses.
Yeah, definitely. Good share. Thank you very much. And then in terms of sort of lastly, sharing any latest news, I mean, or offers, promotions, whether that's relevant around your business, but anything you'd like to share about Adigi to the rest of us?
Yeah, so I don't really have any offers or promotions, but I would say, obviously, you know, we're a growing agency. We have skills across the board from you know, branding, photography. So we pretty much handle your business online. So if you were looking for somebody who could give you advice on positioning your brand online, to right through to, you know, what is the outcome that you're looking to do, that could be a lead, that could be an inquiry, that can be a sale. All of those things, you know, a good usable, user friendly experience with a good brand and good photography will always create that conversion for you. So our focus would always be, if you've got a project you want to talk to us, there's no harm in giving us a shout and having a chat, and let's see if we can help you.
Great stuff. And the website address is that?
It's digi.co.uk.
Brilliant. Thanks, Dan. We'll check it out. All the best with everything. Hope it goes from strength to strength for you. And thank you very much for joining us this afternoon.
No worries. You too. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Dan.